So everyone please have a big round of applause for Polina Sarafanova.
Thank you so much for coming today, and it's really a big pleasure to see such a lovely group of people who's curious and who wants to explore new things so early on Friday morning. I know that's a bit of a commitment. I would love all of us today to explore what Reverie means to us, and I will just use my story as a bit of a narrative device. Well, okay, so before we actually start, I wanted to give this question to all of us. What is Reverie? So what comes into your mind when you think about this word? You can just kind of start giving the answers that come to your mind. What is the first word that comes into your mind? Daydream. What else?
Celebration.
Celebration. Okay, what else? Imagination. Envisioning. Okay, Mark, what about you?
I would say daydreaming.
Daydreaming as well. Well, you know, I have a bit of a soft spot for etymology, which is the science of the origins of words. And I found it really interesting when I saw this theme. Reverie comes from French. And so in English, it's a French word that is used on a daily basis. When we take a step back, and so in English, this word will mean daydreaming and a state of being pleasantly lost in one's thoughts. And in French, when I translate it, it's a state of hazy ideas, of creating ideas without a purpose. So it's like it describes a state of a wandering mind. But then if we go even further back, in Old French, so this word originated in the 15th century and started gaining popularity. In Old French, it comes from the word rêver, and it actually means to be delirious. So it's like the state of being plagued by your ideas, by being plagued by illusions and myths. And I find this discrepancy really fascinating because it kind of shows how the meaning and the usage and our thinking have changed from the past to the future. And while in the past we were so focused on the dangers of getting lost in thought, right now, even when we kind of talk right now, it is more about the opportunities that dreaming brings us. And it's more about the possibility that this activity holds within it. So I want right now, for the next part, to actually think about what dreaming was for us from our past, so when we were children in our childhood, and to the present. So there will be, so that's kind of the next part that I wanted to have a talk about. So how do we want to be when we grow up? This is a question that we hear so often when we were kids. It is something that we had to write essays about and share in front of the whole class. But I think we don't really ask ourselves often enough when we are adults what we are dreaming now. And I would like all of us to take right now 5 minutes and actually have a chat with the person next to you and to discuss the following 3 questions. So let's actually have a chat with each other about what were your dreams when you were a kid and what are you dreaming right now? How are they different? But also, is there any common ground? All right, so I hope everyone had like an interesting kind of walk down the memory lane to see a little bit more about what you have been dreaming about. Would you like to share what you learned about each other, but also kind of about the journey? Kind of what did you dream about when you were a kid and what you're dreaming now? And is there any common ground?
I think the common ground is that we're dreaming about many different things. And we're still dreaming about many different things without any specific goal in mind.
That's beautiful. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's so funny because I was talking to Karen, and guess what she does? She makes messy ideas and muddy ideas more clear. So I was talking to her, and then she was like, "Oh, do you mean this?" And I was thinking, "That's insane."
So, in my personal story, when I was a kid, I dreamt about a lot of things. So I wanted to become an astronaut, and then, well, I'm Russian, so space exploration used to be our thing, but not now. Okay, well. I wanted to be an astronaut, then I wanted to be a designer, a fashion designer, then I wanted to be a poet, an artist, a musician, and to be honest, I didn't become any one of them, right? At the same time, yet, I became kind of all of them. Because these experiences and these ideas, they allowed me to go through different versions of myself, and ultimately it allowed me to learn more about myself and to keep on having this journey of continuous discovery. So for me, dreaming is actually not a destination. It's not about a particular state. It's about becoming and getting closer to the actual true self that you have as a potential from the very beginning. And so that's exactly what I think dreaming is. It's this journey of becoming. And when we are kids, the dreaming is quite often externally influenced, right? So it's either parents or some teachers or some friends, and then we kind of want to mimic them. So it's about copying a little bit. But then as we go through this type of experiences, dreaming becomes more and more rooted in the awareness and in the sense of self. And so it's about this journey of meeting yourself in the end and uncovering this potential. So if dreaming is a journey of becoming, then the idea is just the first step. So the next step is actually taking action and trying to put the ideas into reality. And quite often there is a certain gap. And this is the gap that kind of stems from quite a number of things. To be honest, I think when I was a kid, it was a little bit easier for me to dream and to try things out. I didn't really think, I just did it. And then I would kind of go through experience, I would know whether I like it or I not like it. But right now as an adult, to be honest, I'm a bit less courageous. I'm more cautious, I'm more rational, I try to think things through, and that quite often actually stands in the way. It stands in the way of making mistakes. Well, actually, that's an interesting thing that we call it making mistakes, while in reality it's just exploring an experience. And we also have this expectation that it should always work out. And so we don't really allow ourselves any time or space for trying things out. We just call it failure right away. And I find it really, really sad because all of us, we actually have this experience because we are who we are today thanks to all the experiences that didn't work out in the majority of cases. All of these ideas that we had that just gave us an impetus to be curious enough and to actually just to do it. So I would like to kind of ask you to give me an answer to this question. So when you want to try things out, or when you have an idea, what is standing in your way? Or what was standing in your way? You can just kind of crowdsource the ideas. And I will share mine as well.
Not wanting to look like a fool.
Like a fool, all right.
Yeah. No one wants to fail.
Yeah.
You try things, but you don't want to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
You don't want to look like an idiot.
It's for the video. It's for the video.
Oh, right. You don't want to look like an idiot.
Fran, what about you? Anything that holds back?
So that could mean different things for different people. So whether that's time, commitment, it could also be a mindset as well. That the dream versus reality gap is like, you know, your imagination versus what is
actual real.
feasible. You know, that might be stopping you as well. It's like realizing what you want to happen.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Does.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is no right or wrong answer. Don't worry.
I think I remember Edison or somebody said, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. So I think it could be opportunity. And I think the goal then is trying to create those opportunities so that then you can move from your dream to reality.
And I like the word that you used, it's to create an opportunity rather than wait for one.
Yes.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, just to go back to the first point, I do think that, for me at least, confidence is quite a big problem, and that kind of leads to motivational issues. I think, you know, I read something somewhere where procrastination isn't necessarily always like, oh, you know, I'm not motivated or anything, or like I'm lazy, but it can also be like, oh, I'm not confident that I can do this very quickly or very well. So I'm just going to put it off because I don't want to fail. So, you know, whether that's work or something that's a lot more core to your identity. So for me, it's like, oh, if I really want to put myself out there and talk about something that I'm passionate about, that I'm proud of, it doesn't turn out to be great. That's a lot, you know, more demotivating than just like something I don't really care about and turns out to be bad. It's like, okay, well, that much I'm going to do it anyways. So.
Thank you for sharing, Jenny.
I think for me, a part of it could be lack of curiosity and feeling jaded, thinking that you've seen it all, have tried it all, that outweighing the sense of innate curiosity that we have within us to just find out, what if I did this and what would happen?
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else wants to kind of add on? Alessandro?
I think motivation, but then also like a difficulty I had is like accepting that what we're creating is not going to be as good as we thought. We're not as smart as we thought, and then, you know, our idea is not as good as we thought. And be able to be okay with that it's very tough. But I think the other option is, like as Seth was saying, is like to just say, oh, I'm not good at this, and I'm going to stop. So like accepting that we're not as good as we thought.
Yeah, it kind of aligns with all the things that I have in my mind every time I want to start something. Sometimes when I'm faced with uncertainty and with new experiences, I start having all these thoughts, which is like, I'm not good enough. Or, gosh, I should not waste time. The outcome is not guaranteed. Well, what will my colleague, friends think about it? What will my significant other think about it? Sometimes I also think that pursuing new things, gosh, it's a bit irresponsible. I'm already old. I have to settle. I have to know what I want. It's not okay to kind of switch from one thing to another in a blink of 3 months. It's like, no, it's not coherent enough. And it's like, oh, Polina, there are some other things to worry about, more serious things. And all these ideas, that they're just in my head. And this is sometimes the most drastic thing, that it is ourselves who are stopping us first. It is not something that is within our way. It is just our perceptions of what it should be. And I think the perception of quality is one of that stands in our way the most. Because we, right at the get-go, want to have this stunning thing in reality right away. And so when we try it out, and actually in actuality, it cannot be great the first time. But we get so discouraged and disillusioned that we don't want to really pursue it. And also, I think another point is that somehow it's considered shameful to show your work in progress and to show all the trials and errors you went through. We don't really show it We only show the results and the outcome. And Kevin, your project, I think this is really interesting because it empowers all of us to say that it's okay. Like, to come to one outcome, you actually go through tens, thousands, hundreds of different types of trials. And it's actually, outcome is not the signal of your smartness, of how smart you are, how successful you are. The outcome is actually the symbol of your perseverance and the belief in yourself, and how grounded you are in the understanding of yourself, and also how humble in a way, because that's the acceptance of, it's okay not to know, I'm not ideal, and that's completely fine. Quality comes through trials and errors, through the first, second, and third step. And so, to wrap up, I just want to say that the main message of my sharing today is that we are okay when we are dreaming as kids, but somehow when we're adults, we stop ourselves from dreaming and from trying things out because we think it's not serious enough. Well, in reality, this is what helps us to keep on becoming. Because becoming is not when you are turning 25 or 30 or 45. Becoming is till you're 100 or older, right? There is no stop to it until I say, or we say, when we stop. And so my main message will be to keep on dreaming. No matter how young or how old, how successful or unsuccessful, no matter whether the dream is big or small, no matter whether it's loud or quiet, deep or shallow, serious or fun, just keep on dreaming, because it's a journey of becoming. Because we regret, we learn, we make mistakes, we fall, we get up, we keep going, we endure. And there is no life without regrets, without, I wish I could. These are lessons learned. This is price paid for uncovering the potential. Dream like there is no one watching. Dream with no care in this world. And then slam dreams into their reality. Clash them with their reality. Because dreams are there to be broken. Only to have even better dreams. Stronger dreams. More truthful dreams, real dreams. And that's how dreams become reality. Thank you so much.
There's still some time to share, so does anyone want to share a bit about what they... Because
one of the reasons that I chose the name Running from Safety was actually after a book that is actually just about this. It's from Richard Bach, and it's about him going back and talking to his much younger self. And the theme of the book was, if you could go back and talk to your 12-year-old self, what could you teach him? But then what could you learn in return? And I love that thought is about this. And it's about reaching back and saying, what was I doing as a kid? What have I stopped doing as an adult? And that's kind of what I picked Running from Safety, is I took the name from the book and just the thought process of, and at the very back of the book, it has a soliloquy or a monologue about masks. And it's about the mask that you show people, and you're searching for something and you realize that thing you're searching for is the person in the mirror. And so I see this and it really resonates with me a lot. So thank you very much. I loved your speech at your thing at the end too. That was really awesome.
big round of applause for Polina.
Thank you guys. Thank you for coming today.